Hey, what's up guys? It's Dr. Steve here. In this video, I want to talk to you about why you get what you pay for in life and in business sometimes. Okay? And I'm gonna share a story with you, and I'm gonna tie this in a neat little bow at the end. But I want you to stick with me because this is gonna take a tangent, and it's probably not gonna wind up where you think it's going to. So I want to tell you a story about something that happened this morning, and this happens a lot. You already know that I'm an eye doctor, right? So I have my own practice, and in my practice, one of the things I do other than, treating people's eye problems and doing eye exams and stuff like that is we have glasses in our office. We sell glasses and contacts also, right? I have a private practice, so we do basically everything. So a lot of times, patients will take their prescription and they'll leave my office because they want to get their glasses someplace else that's cheaper, right? So they'll go someplace that's like Costco or Walmart or someplace that's really cheap so they can get like dirt cheap glasses and be able to see. And you know what? I get it. I understand that money is tight sometimes, but you have to understand that sometimes cheaper is just cheaper. Okay, so these people will come back to my office and complain about the problems they're having with their glasses. And I tell them, I said, look, you chose a certain route, right? You bought the bottom of the line product, and now you're having problems with it. And that's true in when you buy any retail product. If you buy the cheapest, lowest quality one, odds are you're going to have more problems with it, right? Like if you buy the cheapest car on the market, you're going to have more problems with it than if you buy the best car on the market, right? Because with certain products, you get what you pay for. Now look, I don't have a problem with price shopping at all. I do it too. Like if you're going to buy a TV, like once you've picked out the model TV or your model refrigerator or whatever product you're going to buy, once you know what model you want, whether it's the best or the worst, whatever model you choose, once you picked out that model, go get the best price, right? Because the TV will be the same no matter what store you buy it from. The refrigerator is going to be the same no matter what store you buy it from. But that's not always the case. When you go buy glasses and for your vision, when you go buy the cheapest pair of glasses, there's a reason why it's the cheapest pair of glasses. It's because it's the cheapest made pair of glasses. It's got the cheapest materials, the cheapest craftsmanship, and that's how they can afford to sell it to you. If they were the same, do you think there'd be such a disparity in price? There isn't, right? There isn't. They're not the same because they're not the same. They're not made with the same level of quality. That's like saying, well, Volkswagen makes the same quality car as Bentley, but they just sell it for cheaper because it looks a little different. No, that's not how it works. And it's not how it works for glasses either. I could use the same analogy for food, right? If you go to McDonald's, you're getting a cheap meal. And so what are you getting? You're getting cheap food. If you go to Morton's Steakhouse, it's more expensive because you're getting a better quality meal. Or if you go to Abe and Louie's, right, it's different than going to McDonald's. Cheap is just cheap sometimes, right? So I'm trying to convey this message to my patients because they're like, well, aren't glasses all the same? No, they're not. They're not. And there's a lot of things in life that's true. And when it comes to stuff for you, when it comes to stuff like for your vision, for your health, when it comes to food and, health products, medicine and stuff like that, that's not where you skimp. You don't cheat yourself. And that's what you're doing. Like when you are not willing to spend money on yourself, what does that say about your self-worth? What does that say about the value you perceive yourself to have? I mean, seriously, if you're not willing to invest in you, who will? Who will? Think about that for a second. If you're always buying the cheapest stuff, like, oh, I can buy the cheapest pair of glasses, I'll buy the contact lenses from like this cheap vendor in China and have it shipped over here. I'm always going to buy the cheapest food in the grocery store, always go out to fast food and buy the cheapest stuff. What you're saying is you are not worth more than the cheapest products that you can find. Again, I understand price shopping. There's a principle to it too. Like I have principles too. Like sometimes I just won't spend a certain amount of money on something because I don't think the value is there. But that's the key. That is the key, is value. They've done tons and tons of consumer surveys. Value is way more important than price. If the value is there, people will spend more money. So it's not always about focusing on the price. It's about getting value for it. But you need to understand that you are worth so much more than you think. You deserve more than you have, but it's only going to change when you change the way you think about yourself, about what your self-worth is. Now, one of my favorite books of all time, the favorite books, I've read a lot of books. I used to read novels like a crazy person, and then I started reading self-development books. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, one of my all-time favorite books. It's all about, the whole book from start to finish is all about your self-image. This is a guy who started his career as a plastic surgeon, and he basically became a personal development guru because he understood how messed up people's self-image was of themselves, because they were coming in, they wanted plastic surgery when they didn't need plastic surgery. It was all here. So your self-image is so important, because if you perceive yourself not to be worth more than the cheapest products that you can find, if you're not going to invest in you, who will? Is really the question. And you need to think about that for business too. You know, for business, it's so important because, I mean, people focus on the wrong thing. You know, I talk to people about business all the time, and a lot of their questions are, well, how much does it cost? That's the wrong question. That's the wrong question. You're focusing on, first of all, if it's costing you money, you're not in business, you're throwing money away. The right question is, how much can I make? You need to stop focusing on the wrong thing. Stop focusing on how much does it cost and start focusing on, what is it going to do for me? How is it going to help me? What is the benefit? What is the value? Stop focusing on cost. The richest people in this country, you know, Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, all these guys, I mean, I could, you know, rattle off a whole bunch of them. They did not get where they are today because they were afraid to invest in themselves and in their business. And you can't be either. Yes, yesterday I saw somebody promoting a business on Facebook yesterday where you could get in for $1. $1. And now that may seem appealing, right? It's luring to you. You go, oh, wow, I can start a business for $1. I mean, what kind of expectations do you have when you start a business for $1? Not a lot, I hope. You're not going to make any money. You know, if you're not willing to invest in that business, in the tools and the trainings and the systems and the products, if you're not willing to invest in that stuff, why would you ever expect to be successful, to make any money? If you get into a business that costs you $1 and you don't spend any money investing in yourself and in systems and trainings and products and your development and all these different things, why are you ever going to be, you're never going to be successful. Do you think you're going to be successful doing that? Oh, I found a business for $1, for $5, for $7, for $9. Great. Then what? That's just the tip of the iceberg. That gets you in the front door. You know, that's like saying, hey, I found a college where, you know, the tuition rate, the application is a lot less than, the application isn't going to teach you anything. You know, so when you get into a business for $1, you filled out the application. That's it. You're not taught anything, you haven't learned anything, you haven't gotten any systems, you haven't gotten any training, and you don't know how to make any money with that business because you haven't bought those things. You need to be willing to invest in yourself. And if you are not, who will? You need to think about that, because if you're trying to create more for yourself, a better life, more money, a different lifestyle, just change. It requires a change. It all starts upstairs. It all starts upstairs. I mean, look, I can tell you over and over again, you deserve value. You deserve prosperity in your life. You deserve whatever it is you want. Really, you deserve it. You do. You need to look in the mirror and say, I deserve it. I am worthy, because you are. And you need to start thinking that way. You need to start treating yourself that way. And you need to start making your decisions based on that. Stop thinking you deserve the least amount of everything, because it's not true. Don't skimp on you. You're only cheating yourself. So, look, there's a banner below this video. If you're watching this on my blog, there's a banner that I want you to click. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link I want you to click. I want you to learn about how you can start doing those things that I just talked about, how you can invest a little bit in you to start making more, to start getting more, right? To start changing your life. But those results don't come without different actions, and those different actions don't come without different thoughts. It all starts by clicking below to learn more about it. Just learn more about it. And stop saying to yourself, how much does it cost? What is it going to take? Instead, say, what can this do for me? How much can I make? And start asking the right questions, start focusing on the right things, and start doing more for you, because you deserve it. Understand what your value is, understand what your worth is, and then go get it. Stop settling, stop buying the cheapest stuff, stop focusing on the wrong questions, and go do what's best for you. This is Dr. Steve. I'll see you on the inside.